Do apologise for that, guys. Just give me 1 second. I'll just share this around. Yep. There we go, guys. So welcome to Thursday Night Racing League. Yes, this is the final round of the GT4 League. This is actually going to be also the penultimate round that I do commentary for these guys until I move on to obviously various work commitments on the Thursday. And yes, it is the one and only, and it is the familiar face of Hoppers doing it for TNRL, or Thursday Night Racing League. And we're at Bathurst, Australia, home of Matt Panorama, home of the Bathurst 12 hour, the previous Bathurst 24 hour, as well as the Bathurst 1000 over in Australia. But yes, it's going to be a great night. There's only 10 races tonight for the final round of the GT4s, but we are looking forward to a cracker. Let's see exactly what's going to happen. We have seen preferably quite a few moments then from Stefano Marchetto for basically going in towards qualifying now for 15 minutes, but he set the pace in free practice. Unfortunately, there wasn't much free practice coverage. I literally got in the door from work, so you know that's why we're starting a bit later than planned, but hopefully tonight is going to be an epic night of racing. We're looking forward to seeing exactly what's going to go on. The likes of Luke's going to try and push on. If you are familiar with Thursday Night Racing League, if you saw at Donington Park for the Porsche Carreras that they have their season finale at Imola next week, which is going to be exciting, but GT4s is already been crowned. I think Stefano Marchetto has already literally won the title for GT4s. He's in the BMW, the sole BMW, but as I say, it looks like only 10 cars around here for the hour-long race here at Bathurst for this evening. But it is going to look like it is going to be close as you like. Margin for error, it's no margin for error around here because the walls are closed. And as Lee Fitzy actually demonstrates, not purposely demonstrated, but he literally crashed into the wall going up over the top of the mountain. But you know, it's going to be very careful to see exactly what tonight brings. It's obviously, like I say, the last round of the championship, but we've been here before for Thursday Night Racing League. We had season 2 of the GT3s. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to commentate that day either, so you know, Bathurst is a favourite track of mine as well, and you know, it throws up a lot of characteristics, especially going down the Conran Straight where Luke and of course Stefano are going as of now, but they are going to be gunning it down towards the chase, and it's going to be very interesting. I think Nuno George is going to be just sat in pit lane just for the time being, just so much, you know, with the traffic around here. Let's try and jump into variation cameras as well, but we've got Luke followed by Stefano, Nuno, then you got Axel, then you got Art Doors F1. I'm not too sure who he is, but he is a newcomer to tonight. He will be thereabouts. We'll see what he's going to do in the blue and yellow Porsche Cayman. And you got Morley made his debut in the team versus team event last week, which was a very interesting night of racing. So he's in the black, white and orange Cayman, my favourite colour scheme. That's actually quite nice, I must admit. But we'll see what he's going to do. There's actually potentially 4 Caymans out on track. There's about 4 Audi R8 as well, and 1 Mercedes and 1 BMW. But we've got Brian Ross then. Let's see what he's going to do. Is he going to round out his season better than he has done previously? There's a car off at I believe that is where Brian Ross is coming up to now. I'm trying to figure out who that is. I think it's Luke. Yeah, Luke's off at the side at the he's probably either gone into the wall or he's just had a bit of hefty damage there, but hopefully it won't hamper him this time round. But you've got Brian Ross trying to make up for quite an interesting character building GT4 campaign with him this season. Then you've got Lee Fitzy, also made his debut in GT4s this season. He's going to be push on, see what he's going to do in the 103 Audi R8. Then you've obviously got Comet, Adam Postlethwaite in the 53 Mercedes, thundering up the mountain. So bring the thunder to the mountain, as we're going to say. But it's going to be very interesting to see what exactly he's going to do. And obviously Stefano Marchetto, and of course ACB in the 52 Audi R8, the GT4 specification. The cars are going to be obviously thereabouts. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. For it's an hour-long race with a mandatory pit stop when we get into that. But there is no obviously mandatory pit stop window. You can take it anytime you want after the race has started. But obviously, bear in mind there is a lot of things onwards and upwards. But 10.5 minutes left to qualify, and then we'll see what who's going to get pole position or who's going to be taking the spoils for the final race of the season. But it's going to be very interesting indeed to try and pick out with Stefano Marchetto now top of the tree at the moment with a 2-minute 14.049. So we'll go on board with the BMW driver then. So the Italian driver looking forward to hopefully getting this another race victory. It started off at Zandvoort and the cars looked very good. The cars were quite interesting. Unfortunately the grid got depleted as round by round went on. We headed to Snetterton for a very interesting night of racing. That was quite close as you like. We did have some very interesting races, but you know, we started off at Zandvoort. Unfortunately I was obviously work commitments got in the way of that as well, but it's going to be a bit of emotional for me because, like I say, it is going to be the penultimate round or night of racing that I commentate for these guys, because I have no idea what my work commitments are going to be like on a Thursday, which is a bit of a shame really, because I've really enjoyed my time and these guys have actually given me some quite interesting battles. There's actually a car off at try to figure out where that will be. It was a car off somewhere. Stefano actually clips the wall going out down towards Conrad Strait, so he's gone off at Forest Elbow there. So it's going to be very interesting to see. He's got outdoors and of course ACB in pit lane at the moment. So Comet is trying to push on in that Mercedes, the 53, in his familiar white, red and black colour scheme. So 8.5 minutes left of qualifying, and the all-important qualifying session is the final round of the championship. But Lee Fitzy pips him to second, so it's BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Cayman, Audi, Cayman, Audi, as I say. But this is exactly what we want to see. We don't want to see cars pretty much, crashes may be a thing here, but what we don't want to see is them go all guns blazing into turn number 1, going into hell corner, and potentially making a lot of mistakes, because you don't want to be doing that in the race. So you've got Stefano followed by Lee Fitzy, followed by Adam Postlethwaite. Then you got Nuno, Axel, Morley, Depressed Squid, aka Luke. Luke's 7th at the moment, not set a time as of yet, but he's obviously series admin. He's done a very good job of getting these championships ticked off. It did look like, with a bit of mid-season drama, but he'll be gunning for more success. He was close. He obviously won the two Carrera Cup races at Donington. That was an absolute epic showdown to the last lap battle between him and Kaiser at Donington Park in race 2, which seemed to be they're about to try and pick out who's actually gone off. I think the yellow flags now have been withdrawn, but it's going to be very interesting. We'll see what Nuno's going to do. He's currently 4th at the moment in the 15 Audi R8, but as I say, the battle between Kaiser and Luke at Donington Park for the Porsche Carreras, that you will see the final round of that this time next week. I believe we're actually at Imola next week, so we'll jump the other side of the world back to Italy. There's a car off at Hell Corner. I'm trying to figure out, is it not Hell Corner? No, it's actually Murray's Corner. I beg your pardon. Trying to think who that is. It's actually Luke. Luke's gone off again. He's having a bit of a torrid time at the moment in the Porsche Cayman, the number 11 Porsche Cayman. Maybe he's pushed a bit too hard, but hopefully he doesn't make too many mistakes. But see exactly what's going to do. Brian Ross down in 9th place at the moment, trying to consolidate his status. Hopefully he's back for another season, which is going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But as I say, it's going to be along with a lot of interest, but GT3s are coming back for season 4. But I believe what is happening though for season 4 of Thursday Night Racing League is they are split between the PS5 and PS4 league. If you play on PS4, you might out to team up with the PS5 guys, because you need the update, and the update was only for potentially PS5 from what I kind of gather. So the PS4 guys will be splitting from the PS5. Yeah, the PS4 guys will split from the PS5 guys. So the PS5 guys will be later on. But concentrating on tonight for GT4, then it is Stefano Marchetto still with that 214.049, and it is going to be very interesting to see what is going to happen for this evening. But as I say, it's now a long race, but Luke's still out there. He's trying to push that number 11 Cayman. I don't know whether he's had issues or the car is not feeling it around here at the moment. It'd be interesting to see what he says, but obviously at the moment we don't have the team radio, so we don't know exactly what the team are telling them. But it's going to be very interesting. Hopefully Stefano does not make a mistake like he did at Kyle Army for the team versus team race last week, where he got a bit ahead in the rolling start, where I don't know whether he purposely meant to do that or it purposely had a bit of a bit of lapse of concentration, but he still came back from his drive-through to actually take that victory in the team versus team event. So you know, who knows exactly what's going to happen. But Lee Fitzy still 2nd, Comer still 3rd, Nuno George still 4th. There was a car going off, I think that was actually it was yeah, it was the newcomer door 8 Art Doors, as we're going to call him. But we'll see how well he does in his debut race for this evening. But obviously coming into unfamiliar territory for this evening. But Luke is still out there. There's only 10 cars, as I say, 10 cars tonight on the grid, so Luke is still out there trying to set a lap. He's got 3 minutes to go, so he's the only one at the moment not actually set a lap in qualifying, which is a bit unfortunate for the Welshman. But he's got around 3 minutes to get round here. He probably won't have enough time to get onto the faster section. But we'll see exactly what's happening. We'll go. We'll float the helicam up when we can. We'll go on board. We'll look at the cars, and you know, it's a fantastic championship. If you're looking forward to an Assetto Corsa Competizione League, then do be sure to check out Thursday Night Racing League. Go onto the Discord link if you can read it. Go onto there and sign up, because we're looking for drivers for I think they're looking for drivers for both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 League for GT3. That will be happening in the next couple of weeks. So if you do see, if you do fancy yourself racing on epic tracks like this and up for good competition, then obviously do head to Discord and say the commentator Hoppers sent you, and I'm sure they'll be grateful for me to give you a bit of advice. It's a good league. The guys are very respectful. They are very very welcoming as well, and over the past year or so when I've done commentary for them, it always has been quite interesting to see exactly who does what. But as I say, the guys are really nice and they will help you. You don't have to be really good at racing. All they ask is you race clean and fair, and that's about it. But it's going to be very interesting because Luke's now on a flyer. He's got 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. I don't think he's going to get a lap time in here, you know. I think he's really struggled to get the grips of that number 11 Cayman. He will start from the back of the grid if he doesn't get round, which to me that's a bit of a shocker for the Welshman. But Stefano Marchetta, the Italian rather, he'll kill me for that comment now, but he's done a 2:13.719, so he's currently got that BMW even faster. Lee Fitzy's only 1.8 seconds around, but it's going to be very interesting. We'll see what Luke's going to do. I don't think he's going to be able to get round in this lap time, you know. I think he's going to literally struggle the car off at Conrad Straight, but they've gone into pit lane. Sometimes I wish the map was a bit 10 times bigger so I could pick out the number, but you know, it's the only downside with that. But going up over Skyline and down towards the infamous Dipper. It's a very interesting track, is Bathurst Mount Panorama, I must tell you that for next to now. But now we wait for Luke's lap time then. Axel's also on a lap, but looks like Stefano Marchetta then gets pole position for the last race of the season. But we don't want to jinx it yet, because Luke is obviously on course to do his final lap. He's probably left it late to get thereabouts, but where is he going to put him? So you got Stefano Marchetta on provisional pole position at the moment. Axel's out there as well. He's actually probably left pit lane, so he's not really, that lap time is not really going to count. But we'll see what Luke's going to do. He's coming through up towards Murray's corner now. He's going to brake. I'm going to brake this. Still hot, but see what he's going to do. Is he going to get onto pole position, or is he going to climb up the grid? Let's have a look. Goes second, so he knocks Lee Fitzy down to third. So he left it quite late to get into second. So it's a good lap time now. He's probably had a bit of traffic. Probably had a bit of traffic as well, which didn't help. But that will be now. ART doors now will be. I thought it was actual, but it's not. It's ART doors that is being out on track. So he now starts 10th then, so on his debut evening. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen for the 1 hour race. But it's going to be very interesting to see how close it's going to get. But nevertheless, it seems a lot of interest to see what's going to happen. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. There's actually 2 comments on stream. I do apologise, guys, I've not seen your comments. Let's have a look. ACB, this is my best lap at this track, 2 seconds faster than practice. It's very interesting, mate, indeed. How are you doing, mate? Nice to see you in chat. I do apologise, mate, I didn't see your comment. I've not had my phone to have a look to hand, so I do apologise. But yes, it's going to be an epic night of racing. We are not far away from the last hour race to begin, but it's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. And it's quite interesting to see what's going to happen here at Bathurst for the final round of the championship. I thought the weather would be quite a bit warm, which it is, and you know, we've had some quite interesting races this season. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'll tell you where we've been before we kickstart the final race of the season, and this is exactly how things go. You know, it's been a stellar season, and it's going to be very close to see exactly what is going to happen. Just to jump in very quickly then, the race calendar for GT4s as everyone just gets ready. So we went to Stanford, Suzuka, Snetterton, Mazzano, and then of course Bathurst. I can't remember whether I commentated on Mazzano, I can't remember, but we must have done. I'll just double check that, because it seemed to be a bit of a weird one. But we've got 4.5 minutes. People are just getting their cars set up. Don't worry about Luke's car. It's not what do you call it? It's not what you call it? It's not raised up. It's parked because it's on its jacks. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what happens. Just give me 1 second. I think we've actually technically I think we actually missed out Mazzano for the GT4s, bizarrely. But maybe it's probably because of time constraints and whatnot, but I'm not going to make the guys aware, but they may be aware when they watch the stream. But nevertheless, I'm just going to grab a quick drink. We've got 3.5 minutes to go until they get the good to go from the pit crew, well, their crews, and it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. We've got Stefano Marchetto on pole position, Luke on second then, so he left it late to get second place then in qualifying. Then you got Lee Fitzy, followed by Nuno, Axel, Brian Ross, ACB, Morley, and of course Dawes at the rear of the field. I'll tell you what, guys, it is going to be an epic night of racing. It is an hour long though, but nevertheless it is going to be so worth it. But nevertheless, we'll see exactly what's going to happen very soon. I think we will be getting underway in around 2.5 minutes time, so it's probably going to be around 5 to 9 UK time that the race will get underway. So it's going to be a late one, but it's going to be a very good one. And then obviously next week is the final round of the Porsche Carrera Cup from Imola, which I am looking forward to, because if it was anything like last time out at Donington, as I've mentioned, you want to watch that battle from Donington. That was an absolute stellar battle, and you know, it seems to be a lot of interest to see exactly what's going to happen. But you know, there is a lot of interest going to be happening within each moment, but it's going to be close as you like, so just to get that out there. But we'll see how well tonight brings and what tonight actually is going to be all about. But you know, it's going to be very close to see exactly what is happening. But nevertheless, we will see exactly what is going to happen. So we've got around a minute then to go, just before the green flag lap. It's probably not going to be a green flag lap because of the nature of Bathurst. So we've got on board with Art Dawes at the moment, just trying to see what it's like from his perspective. He's got Morley alongside him, then he's got ACB, he's got Brian Ross. Then he's got oh, I can't remember his name. Then he's got Axel, Nuno, and then of course Comer and Lee Fitzy, and then obviously Luke as well. So that's going to be very interesting. 17 seconds then till the race will initiate, but the cars are firing up now. They're just getting ready to see exactly what's going to happen. I think most cars now are going to be off the jacks and setups are thereabouts, so it's now getting ready to start the race. I'm going to try and literally, when I can, I'm going to flick straight to the race lead after this, you know, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen, because it is the final round of the championship and it is getting tense. But you know, just looking at exactly what's going to happen with the likes of these guys. I don't know whether they're going to be doing just a rolling start to the grid, but it looks like it could be very interesting, and we are good to go for the final round then of Thursday Night Racing League here at Bathurst. It's almost nose to tail with the likes of Lee Fitzy and of course Comer. They were literally pushing each other into the pit wall, which looked really a bit naughty there, but we can see what's going to happen. Is that potentially an issue? Because it looks like Lee Fitzy almost got into the back of, or Comer was trying to nerf him over the pit lane barrier there, but Lee Fitzy he's not showed any effect. He's not picked up much damage, but he's currently trying to chase after Luke there, with Comer also trying to go round. But I think that's exactly the start we didn't really want. But Lee Fitzy there in, of course, third place at the moment under threat. That's allowing Stefano Marchetto though to literally eke out that lead already, with only a minute gone in this race over the top of the mountain. Then it's going to be very close to see what's going to happen. You've got Comer still there in fourth then, with the likes of Brian Ross in fifth, Axel sixth at the moment, with the likes of Nuno George now down into seventh. So he's dropped down a bit. He's had a bit of an issue there somehow, but nevertheless, down the hill we go then, so down the mountain. It's going to be very close with Morley there, ACB, and then of course Dawes now up into ninth. Then he's got past ACB for ninth place at the moment, but that is still a long way to go, with Lee Fitzy straight away trying to catch up to Luke. He's literally there again, but the Audi versus Cayman versus the BMW, so the German, it's almost like a German GT4 race, because it's the only cars that are on the grid at the moment. But normally would have had an Aston Martin of McIvor in, but unfortunately he's elsewhere this evening. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Comer, he's dropped back from Lee Fitzy. Now he's got Brian Ross trying to literally catch up with Axel there as well. Got a move between Morley and Nuno George, as Morley gets past Nuno George. There's a car actually technically kicking up a bit of dirt. Was that Brian Ross? Possibly, might have been, because he's there. Or was it Axel? It could have been Axel. With Nuno George now got back past Morley into Murray's, but it's nose to tail then, with 57.5 minutes to go in this race. It is going to be winding down the clock. Seems to be a bit of a close battle. What's happening with Lee Fitzy and of course Luke? Lee Fitzy's trying to get Luke on that outside. Is he going to try and get the outside line, or is he going to try and get into that corner before Luke does? No, he doesn't. He has to think about it. Still on the outside. It could be very interesting. He's got to be careful not to clip the wall though, because he'll have that train of cars behind him, like of course Comer and of course Brian Ross. But Lee Fitzy at the moment is putting Luke under considerable amount of pressure, and that is allowing Stefano Marchetto's gap to be 4.1 of a second onto lap number 2. It seems that it's close as you like, but Lee Fitzy, he nearly went into the wall. He's got to be very careful there. But Stefano Marchetto then, he is leading this race. He is wanting to round out this championship with another win. You can see what it means to him though, but Luke and Lee Fitzy almost nose to tail. We'll see exactly what's going to happen soon, but nevertheless it seems to be that Lee Fitzy is on a charge tonight. He is wanting a good result to end his maiden campaign in GT4. But it's going to be very interesting to see what he's going to do. Hopefully he's back for another crack at GT3s next season. But he's going to have quite some interesting moments as we go down Conrod Straight, then in towards the Caltex Chase or into the Chase. It is going to be very close. He's getting closer and closer to Luke, but Luke's eking out that advantage slightly. But this is exactly how things are going in GT4 right now, with the likes of Comma still there. Axel is putting Brian Ross sort of under threat, but it's going to be he's very battle scarred, is Axel, but I don't think he's had a bit of an issue, but unless he's just clipped the wall somehow and it's just knocked him a bit there. Breaking into Murraysland, trying to chase after Brian Ross. Nuno George still there in, of course, 7th at the moment with, oh, who is that? Axel's gone off at the chase. Spins it back round. He's dropped a lot of ground from Dorslow with the likes of Morley trying to catch him up. It could be very interesting to see exactly how close it's going to get, but I think Lee Fitzy's getting a bit more closer and a bit more close for comfort, putting Luke under considerable amount of pressure. Luke needs to push on, literally trying to push on to get away. But you know, Lee Fitzy, he's fighting another day. He's literally going to be there nose to tail, but it seems to be as close as you like between the top two, well, second and third at the moment, with Lee Fitzy now trying to catch up to Luke. We'll go on board with the Audi driver if we can. Yes, we will. We'll go on board with into his helmet cam, but it will be thereabouts. But we'll see exactly how close he's going to get. But you can just see how fantastic the Audi looks against the Porsche Cayman at the moment. He's thereabouts. He's going to be chasing after Luke. He needs to literally push on, to get thereabouts. What's happened with Comma as Comma, he's lost a bit of ground there, but got Brian Ross under threat from Axel at the moment going down the hill. And this is the thing, if that car goes too fast down the hill, it's going to snap away from you and it's going to potentially hurt, and these barriers aren't forgiving either. But Axel's trying to catch up. Lee Fitzy 0.338 of a second then to Luke, or is it's grown a bit, but it's not as bad. But let's see what's going on then. Dawes trying to catch up to Morley then, so it could be very interesting to see what's going to happen between the two Caymans. These Caymans actually sound phenomenal. They literally are. But it's going to be very close. I think Lee Fitzy's also trying to get that Audi past Luke's Cayman at the moment. It's going to be thereabouts. Let's see what Stefano Marchetto is doing. He's still leading the race then, so he's thereabouts with around 53 and 10 seconds left in this race. It seems to be quite close for comfort. It seems to be what's going to happen with around 53 minutes to go in this race. Don't forget, they still have to pit in this race. It can be any time between now and the end, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. I think Axel's almost there now, catching up to Brian Ross. Nuno George is on the charge as well, so it could be 3 cars for 5th place at the moment. Potentially battling for 5th place, because Axel's there with Brian Ross. Brian Ross trying to move alongside and trying to get where he needs to be, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. But Axel's pushing that Cayman. Go on board with Axel's Cayman. See how well he's working that steering wheel, because it is very technical. He's getting up towards Brian Ross now. Is Brian Ross going to allow him to go on board with his bonnet cam as well? This is exactly how things go. Nose to tail, going up over the mountain. This is exactly how things are going to pan out this evening for the final round of the GT4 League from Thursday Night Racing League. Just see how close it's getting. Because Nuno George is there as well. So 5th, 6th and 7th almost nose to tail going down the mountain. But we'll see exactly what's happening with Lee Fitzy. 1.0 of a second between him and Luke at the moment. But the battle between Lee Fitzy. Oh, was that Nuno George into the wall? Yes, it was. I think he's slightly wounded, but he's going to be pushing on. He may live another lap, so he's not done too much. He's just battle scarred it slightly, but looks like Axel's trying to catch up to Brian Ross down towards the chase, then slam on the brakes for the chase. It is not forgiving. You do not want to have a brake issue going into there either. But 51 minutes, just under 51 minutes to go. Then it's going to be very careful, but just see exactly. You can hear the roar of Commer's Mercedes, the AMG. You can just see it there. But Luke's now currently trying to push on. But Lee Fitzie's got him back up. You can just see exactly what's going to happen between these guys at the moment. It's going to be very careful between the pair of them. But it could easily be quite close for comfort for second and third, with as well as fifth and sixth. We'll see exactly how that's going on. I think Nuno's technically a bit, I don't think he's broken, I just think he's a bit clipped the wall as Brian Ross goes into the wall there, so that's allowed Axel to get into fifth place rather, with Nuno also there. But it looks like Nuno's actually also struggling with Brian Ross, so it looks to me that the both Audi drivers now have got a bit more. Nuno looks like he's got a bit more damage as well on that number 15 Audi R8, but he's going to be there. That's Brian Ross now back up to sixth then, so it's very close. Let's have a look. Lee Fitzie, yes, he's caught up to Luke. He's catching up to Luke as best as he can. No idea why the marshals are showing green flags around here, because it's not really a yellow flag situation, but we'll see what's going to happen. I think Luke's going to be thereabouts, but you can just see how close they're getting. Stefano Marchetto just going over the rise now, down towards Coltec's chase, but it's also a car off. Morley's gone off. He's gone off into the wall. Didn't see exactly how that occurred, but looks a bit battle scarred, which it's a bit unfortunate for the number 19 Porsche Cayman. But see what is happening between Lee Fitzie and Luke. Luke's trying to push away, but don't think he's going to be able to do it as of yet. Coming through Murray's to complete another lap then. So we've got 48 and a half minutes to go though. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, because, you know, with the likes of Stefano Marchetto, he's eking out that advantage even more to push on. Now it's going to be very close as you like between the likes of Lee Fitzie and of course Luke at the moment, but Brian Ross goes into pit lane and he's very battle scarred. Audi R8, Nuno George goes in exactly the same. I wouldn't be surprised if Morley goes and follows them in, because he's thereabouts. He's going down Conrad Straight now. He's seriously broken, so quite a few cars that are broken already in this early stages of the race. We're already on to lap number 6. Could be lap number 5 actually. Let's have a look on the lap counter. It is lap number 5, yes. Do apologise, it is lap number 5, but it's going to be very interesting. Lee Fitzie's getting closer and closer to, of course, Luke's Porsche Cayman down the S's. Then it's going to be very close to see what he's going to do. Try and push on. Is he going to be able to catch up to Luke, or is Luke going to be pushing away? But still go on board with Lee Fitzie for a minute. He's going to be pushing on, but you can just see how close for comfort he is getting. But he's got 47 minutes left in this race, so he's going to still push on. But Brian Ross and of course Nuno George, they've dropped down the order potentially for because they're making their, could count as their compulsory pit stop as well. Morley jumps in as well with ACB just thereabouts. But Lee Fitzie, where is he? He's there. The camera just throws a wobble at me, but he's going to try and catch up to Luke. But Brian Ross back out into 8th then, with Nuno George back out in 9th. Morley as well will be 10th, so they're going to be a couple of laps down now, because Stefano Marchetto will be putting a lap on them. So that potentially will be hampering the likes of Nuno, George and of course Brian Ross. But I think Nuno will get out of the way of Stefano Marchetto once it's safe to do so. Rightly so, he does that with precision. But it's going to be very close then. The closest battle we get at the moment though is between of course Luke and of course Lee Fitzy at the moment. Comet is still fourth with Axel in of course fifth place. Outdoors in of course sixth with ACB. Gone off at the chase yet again. He's not having so much luck at the moment. He's lucky that no one else is around at the moment. Going rally crossing out of the chase. The tyres aren't getting there, but hopefully he hasn't picked up too much damage. Oh, he's actually going into pit lane, so he has picked up some damage there. But Luke's now trying to get away from Lee Fitzy there, but could be very interesting. 45 minutes left of this race then, so we've got still a long way to go. We're not even halfway. Morley's still in pit lane at the moment. He must have picked up some really hefty damage on that number 19 Cayman, and it must be that, you know, how severe it is getting. But you know, it's going to be very careful between these guys. It is thereabouts, but it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. So there's a yellow flag into the chase. Someone who's gone off, because it's very interesting to see who has gone off. And is that Brian Ross or was it Nuno? It might have been Brian Ross. Yeah, it's probably Brian Ross though, because he's dropped down to 9th now, so he's thereabouts. But he's got past, Luke's got past him, put a lap on him, so he's not having a good evening of potentially trying to push on with Lee Fitzy. Now is the next guy to potentially push on. ACB also in pit lane. He's actually got substantial damage as well as Morley, so that Morley goes now out of pit lane. 2 laps down though, unfortunately, but hopefully it won't hamper him too much. But not even halfway through the race yet and we've already had some drama. But seems that a couple of cars have hit the wall or they've spun at the Celtics chase, so it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Is Luke going to be able to get away from Lee Fitzy now? I think he's managed to as well. He's pulled that gap out at the moment as Lee Fitzy goes up over the hill. It's going to be very careful to see exactly what's going to happen up towards Skyline. But 43 minutes left. Oh, he only clips the wall there. It's getting very close. You know, this is exactly, so the likes of Stefano, Luke, Lee, Axel and Outdoors are yet to take their mandatory pit stop, but there's obviously going to be a very interesting moment. But it's not really much battles now, because as the cars equally now spread out. So you know, George them a lap down, but he's in 7th. Brian Ross and of course 8th now with ACB. Oh, we've had a retirement. It looks to me like Morley's retired, which is not good, because that now leaves 9 cars left in the race. Still a long way to go as ACB goes off at the S's. Doesn't want to be doing that. I think he outbroke himself, but doesn't want to be doing that too often. So Stefano Marchetto still leads them from Luke, followed by Lee Fitzy. Comet is still there in 4th at the moment, but you know, it looks like Morley's had a bit of an issue with that Cayman, whether it got repaired, but then he realised 2 laps down, not going to crawl his way back. But it's still a long way to go, and I don't understand. You know, I hate to say stuff like this, but I don't understand why people just give in. You know, it's a bit unfortunate, but you know, it's still not even halfway through the race yet, and you know we've already had one victim, and I don't, you know, it's just a bit, it's a bit frustrating, but you know I do understand people do get a bit frustrated, but as a commentator it's very difficult. You know, it's thereabouts, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. And you've got Luke still there at the moment, in of course second place at the moment. Lee Fitzey still third, gonna about put a lap on Brian Ross, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. For the time being, 40.5 minutes then to go, so we're not even halfway yet. So we've got 10 minutes till we get to the halfway stage. It just feels like, you know, still a long way to go. There's not really many battles, but we'll see what we can figure out. Nuno George still 7th. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But Nuno's still there. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Let's see where Luke is coming through Murray's at the moment. But Stefano Marchetto is halfway through Hell Corner. So that just shows you the indication of how far Stefano Marchetto is at the moment. But you know, it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. Excuse me, Lee Fitzey still in third at the moment, with Common now got past Brian Ross to put a lap on him. But see exactly what's going to happen very soon. Axel's still there in 5th at the moment, so he's doing a stellar job at the moment. Outdoors now in 6th. He's still pushing on for a very good finish if he stays like that. But could be very interesting to see what he's going to do. Nuno still in 7th, but Luke's about to put another lap on him. But it could be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Brian Ross still there. ACB coming through the final corner. He's currently just figuring out, maybe he's a lap down, but he's going to have to push on. But he probably will do, but you know, it's quite interesting to see exactly what's going to happen, because they're all equally now spread out, so it's not really much battles, but we'll still provide great action as per usual. But Stefano Marchetto, I think he's already the champion of it, so already champion GT4, so he doesn't have to worry about it. But the Italian driver, he's pretty much been a champion for season 1 of GT3s. When I started commentating for these guys, it was quite an interesting championship that was, in the Bentley, when he literally took the Bentley to its first ever title. Then obviously Adam Foster took the McLaren to the title, and then obviously got back-to-back titles when he raced. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Is Luke going to now put the hammer down and literally try and catch up towards Stefano Marchetto? But it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. But could be very close as you like. But Lee Fitzey's still in 3rd place at the moment. But hopefully that pushes him on a bit of a momentum. See exactly what's going to happen with the likes of Commerce still 4th, Axel 5th, Outdoors still there in, of course, 6th place, Nuno George 7th, Brian Ross 8th, and of course ACB yet again gone off at the chase. The chase does not like his Audi for some bizarre reason, but we'll see exactly whether he's he says he's doing. He did well in practice, but well in quality, but it seems very much bizarre moments for him yet again. But you know, it's going to be very close. But 36 minutes to go in the final race then. So we're going to see who's going to be next to jump into pit lane. But who knows what's going to happen. But there's a lot of interest between Marmot, Luke and Lee Fitzy. They're the top three at the moment, so it's going to be very close to see exactly how well it's going to go. But it's going to be very close to see exactly how it's going to be. But you know, we've got Comma still thereabouts, so it's going to be very close as you like. But it's going to be close, but Comma's still fourth, Axel fifth, Outdoors still in sixth then, but you know, Stefano is literally leading the race. He's got quite a gap between himself and Luke at the moment, but Lee Fitzy just coming up to lap Nuno George, so he's got 34 and a half minutes to go. But you know, the guys have still got to make their compulsory pit stops, and this could be where, you know, where the compulsory pit stops now from the top six may happen. But you know, Stefano Marchetto has that 18.1 gap of Luke there. Luke's trying to push on. Luke Barnard, the series admin, well, as well as Stefano Marchetto, but as well as ACB, fabulous admins. They literally have put on pretty much a decent couple of decent nights of racing, but could see exactly how close it's going to get. But you know, between Luke and of course Stefano Marchetto, they've both battled in GT3s, but they've battled in GT4s. So we see what 33 and a half minutes remaining. I'll tell you what, it's a shame the likes of the Ginettas of Dan Stevens and of course Dutch Life haven't made it, because the Ginettas were very stellar to see on track as well. But as I say, the depleted grid tonight for the final round of the championship, it's a bit unfortunate, but what can you do? You know, I know people have lives and stuff like that, but you know, especially when, for myself, being a final round of GT4s for commentary, you know, it's not fun, but can only do what I can do, I suppose. But you know, it's going to be great to see exactly what's going to happen. Hopefully the Porsche Carrera Cup races next week are going to be as exciting as this. I know, you know, there's quite a lot of gaps between the cars now, but you know, if Nuno keeps holding up Lee Fitzy, Comma's going to catch him up. It's only 6.2 of a second, so we'll go on board with Comma in the Mercedes. The Thunderist isn't even a word, hoppers, come on. You mean the thunder power and the thunder grunt of the Mercedes. But we'll see exactly what he's going to do. Is he going to be able to catch up to Lee Fitzilo? As Brian Ross yet again goes into pit lane. He's actually pulled into the wrong pit box. I think he's actually got so much damage on that Audi R8 now, it's going to be unbelievable. But he's not enjoyed his bits of racing. I don't know whether he's had issues with ACB or they've just kept clear of each other, because they've had issues in the past. But It's going to be very close then, but Brian Ross, substantial damage on his 62 Audi. But Luke's now there, but what's happening with Lee Fitzy? Has he got past Nuno? Yes, he has. He's finally got past Nuno George. 31 minutes remaining. Comet is there, bringing the Thunder to the mountain. Is he going to be able to catch up towards Lee Fitzy, or is he going to struggle? Comet being Comet, I doubt it, because Lee Fitzy's only going through the chase now, so he's got Nuno George behind him. He's got to be very careful that Nuno doesn't take him out, even though Nuno is a lap down. He's actually, no correction, he's 2 laps down. But you don't want to make mistakes. But Lee Fitzy goes into pit lane then, so maybe that's the right call, because halfway through the race now, just about halfway through. So Brian Ross back out in 9th then, so it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen with the halfway mark then. So it's half an hour to go then, so we're not far away from the checkered flag, but Lee Fitzy into pit lane. Going to be interesting to see what the I've said it again, haven't I? The thunder grunt of the Mercedes he's going to bring. He's literally bringing the hills alive, the sound of the beautiful V8 sounding Mercedes AMG SLS there. But you know, it seems to be pretty much on the limit. Is he going to push on? I think he's going to try and go there. He's quite quick. We'll go back on board with him, but see what Comet can do. He's actually currently done a 216.2 was his best lap. 216.725 was his last lap, but nevertheless he's now up into the podium then, hopefully going to round out the season for the Porsches next week as well, so that'll be very interesting to see if he's on the grid for next week. But seems a lot of interest then, so it seems Lee Fitzy's back out into 5th then, so that's not too bad of a stop. He's not actually 6th, correction, he's 6th because of Dawes has got past him, but there's a yellow flag. But Stefano Marchetto then, race leader, championship winner, into pit lane then. Is that allowing, that's going to allow Luke to get the race lead though, because that's potentially what Stefano can't afford, is to have the race lead disappear. But there is a but. Luke has to pit. So when we betting, when we betting Luke pits, well, don't know yet. 28 minutes remaining then. So if you just joined, guys, welcome to the stream. I do apologise for the depleted grid, as well as the cars equally been spread out in the race. It looks like Axel's going to push on, or is he? No, is he? I thought he was going to stay out, but no, he's tricked me. He's going into pit lane. So the thunderous, the thunder car, the thunder grunts of Commer's Mercedes SLS up into 2nd. Stefano Marchetto now gets out of pit lane. Has to put that beautiful BMW, the Alpina styled livery coloured BMW M4 GT4. These cars are fabulous. I'll tell you what, have you ever seen a GT4 BMW M4 in real life, you know you're going to enjoy seeing that. Axel goes into pit lane. He may come out in potentially 6th because Dawes and Lee Fitzy have gone past pit lane. But Stefano Marchetto is actually 3rd. Is he 3rd? Or was it just the timing screen? Yellow flag up ahead. Or was there? Yes, there is. Who is that? Brian Ross. He's in the wars yet again, it's Brian Ross. It's a bit unfortunate. He's been in the wars quite a bit, it's Brian Ross. don't see much damage on his Audi though. It's a bit weird, but Stefano Marchetto is back out. He's into third. I do apologise. He's actually into third. It's Dawes that's fourth. Lee Fitzy fifth. Axel's sixth. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But you know, it's got under 26 minutes remaining in this race then. So Dawes is fourth. Lee Fitzy fifth. Axel sixth. Nuno seventh at the moment. Comer's still second. Luke's still out there in the race lead. Brian Ross in pit lane in ninth at the moment. So really, with 25.5 minutes to go, it could be anyone's race. It could be between Luke, it could be between Comer, it could even be between this guy, Stefano Marchetto. Do you know what? These guys, and I'm going to say this now, which is why I've got a bit of a moment. These guys really impress me week in, week out. You know, I'm gutted that I'm not going to be part commentating in a couple of weeks, because, you know, I really have enjoyed it, and it has been quite some time, you know. Unfortunately, due to not knowing when my work commitments are on a Thursday, is why I'm stepping down, as Brian Ross has retired, which now leaves 8 cars left in the race with around 24.5 minutes to go. I hate to say this, but I don't want any more cars to retire or to give up. It's not how it works, and it's, you know, it's a bit unfortunate, but, you know, it has been quite an epic, maybe a year of commentating. We've had times where, yeah, okay, things have gone wrong or things have not gone to plan, but, you know, these guys have always put on a good show. They've always made my day, they've always made my week. I've always looked forward to a Thursday of, you know, Comer's there in second at the moment, Stefano Marchetto, just going down Conrad Straight. So that just shows exactly how Comer is, because he's gone into Caltech's chase. ACB back into pit lane. More damage on that Audi. It's a bit unfortunate really, but it's going to be very close then, with the likes of Lee Fitzy and ART Dawes. Oh, he's gone wide there, so he's allowed Lee Fitzy through then, so that was a bit of a battle, so that's quite good that we had that. Just looking into the race then, Luke is thereabouts, followed by Comer. Free practice went the way of Stefano Marchetto with 2:14.4, and then he smashed it by a 2:13.7. So that's quite interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. Got Stefano Marchetto going through Hell Corner. ACB still in pit lane, coming out of pit lane now, so he's getting back into the race, which is good to see. Stefano Marchetto is still there, Comer is there. Luke, though, however, is flying. I wonder what he's thinking, because he had a double race win in the Porsches at Donington Park 2 weeks ago, which is quite insane. But you know, he's still got to pit. Outdoors now is pitting. That will push him, depending on where Axel is. Oh, Axel's coming down towards Conrad Straight, so that might be interesting. The Caymans versus Cayman. I think Outdoors may come out in 6th, potentially 6th. Nuno George is just going down the mountain, so depending on what is happening. I think Outdoors is pit lane. His pit box is right at the exit pit lane, so Nuno could potentially get into 6th place then. It depends on the laps though, because Nuno is a couple of laps down. But Luke is still here goes into pit lane now with coming up to 21.5 minutes to go then. This is going to be very interesting. What is Comer going to do? If Comer stays out, then we may have an interesting battle on our hands. Is he staying out or is he going in? He's also going in. Okay. So this is going to be very close. Stefano Marchetto, championship leader, championship winner, is about to take the race lead. But this is exactly why we love this racing. But yeah, it seems a bit very close. But we may have a battle on our hands between Comet and Luke then. Lee Fitzy still there, 4th place at the moment. Axel is 5th, Outdoors 6th. Nuno George is still potentially 7th place. He's actually 6th. Actually, the timing screen is just updated. It's not updated itself just as of yet. But Lee Fitzy is 4th then. Stefano Marchetto. It says Stefano Marchetto is technically still in 3rd. I don't believe that for 1 second though. Never seems to update. it has now. So everyone has done their compulsory pit stops now, which is going to be very interesting with the last 20 minutes of the race. And yes, it is going to be epic. But let's see exactly what's going to happen. But Luke is now 2nd. Comet is now 3rd. He's come out of pit lane though. He is too far. He's got Lee Fitzy. Lee Fitzy's catching. Lee Fitzy though, however, this guy, right, okay. Lee Fitzy is a class racer. I've seen him race. He's won championships elsewhere. But he's also a very quick and established racer. You know, he's going to be catching up to Comet in a minute. I think Comet is slightly struggling. I'm not too sure though. There's a car off. Is that ACB? Yes, it is. He's gone off yet again. I don't believe it. I really don't. He's not having some good luck tonight. His ACB. I'll tell you that now. He's got to be careful because the likes of Lee Fitzy and of course Comet. They're coming down the rise though. Where is he? Where is he? Is he pulled off or is he carried on? He's going down the hill. So he's got Comet as well. Comet's chasing him. But Comet's getting held up. Comet is getting held up. Is that going to allow Lee Fitzy? Oh, ACB. Nicely done. Nicely out the way, mate. That is even better. 18.5 minutes to go then, guys, here at Bathurst for the final round of GT4s from Thursday Night Racing League. And if you've just joined the stream, why aren't you racing? Because this would be epic. But yes, it is going to be very close. Comet is getting away from Lee Fitzy slightly, but Lee Fitzy is going to catch him. You know, this is exactly... But you know, it's going to be very close to see exactly if Comet gets away from Lee Fitzy. But I think Lee Fitzy there, hop, skips and jumps them curbs. ACB stays out, so he's not too bad. Oh, I thought he was going to go off and hit the wall again. Don't want to put a commentator's curse on these guys, but at the moment Comet is still 3rd then. Marma's still leading. He is very quick. He put him in any car, he'll probably be quick. Put him in that Alpine, he may even win. put Luke in a BMW, he'll win the championship then. But you know, it seems to be very close. But Comet now has that gap from Lee Fitzy for the time being. Axel is still there in 5th. Nuno 6th. Outdoors on his debut in 7th. And then you've got ACB in, of course, 8th place at the moment. 17 minutes to go then. Could be very quick to see exactly what's going to happen. Hopefully ACB does not hit the wall any more times. Don't want to put the commentator's curse on him. He's a stellar racer, I must admit. I've only commentated on him a few times, but Comet is still there. Comet is still 3rd, so could be very interesting. Lee Fitzy may catch him. 16.5. Just come at 16.5 minutes to go then. This is exactly how the racing should be, guys. You know, it is normally close, but because we're at Bathurst and it's a bit spread out at the moment. But, you know, as I say, Bathurst is a lovely circuit. So we'll go on board with Lee Fitzy then. What's he going to do? What's he thinking? What's going through his mind? Is he going to be able to catch up to Comer with 16 minutes to go and get onto the podium? Is he going to be able to do it? I'm not being funny, but it'd be very interesting if he does, because okay, Comer's a very established racer. You know, he's been thereabouts and he pushes on, but you know, he's made a few mistakes there and then in the past. But at the moment he's third. But Axel still fifth then. Nuno sixth. Outdoors seventh. He's had a bit of a moment. He probably has. ACB going through the chase for what could be a very interesting moment. But could be very close to see what's going to happen. We have 15 minutes to go then in the final race of the season. Lee Fitzy's dropped down to 3 point. What's the gap? It did tell me, and then I just changed the camera. 3.066 of a second. 15 minutes to go then. It's getting very close towards the checkered flag then, guys. It is going to be very close. ACB still out there, despite a bit of damage on that Audi. So Luke is still there. Marma, however, he's quick. He is pushing that number 4 BMW M4. Yes, that is right. It's a BMW M4, number 4. Pushing that very interestingly out of the chase, down towards Murray's. It's going to be very close. Lee Fitzy's now 3.9 of a second from Como. That's a bit unfortunate. I was expecting a better battle. I was expecting a battle between them two. Hopefully we get it before the end of the race. Axel 5th. Nuno 6th. Outdoors in. Gets onto the curb out of the chase there, but it didn't really affect him much. 14 minutes to go. ACB in the Audi still circulating, so you know he's thereabouts. Lee Fitzy, however, still 4th. Is he going to be able? Yeah, he's catching back up to Comer. He's like 3.5 of a second, but it's going to be thereabouts then. Let's see what's going to happen. Outdoors then, back into pit lane. Has he had a bit of damage? I don't know if he's damaged or he's just had a bit of an issue. The team are just wondering what's going on, but nevertheless, we'll see if he comes back out of pit lane. Hopefully he does. But could be very interesting then. You can hear the thunder of the Mercedes SLS of Comer. Comer's trying to push on for quite some time. Is he going to be thereabouts? But it's going to be very close between Lee Fitzy and of course Comer for the final spot of the podium on the final race of the season as well. But it looks to me though that Outdoors is still there in pit lane, but hopefully it doesn't hamper him too much. But Comer is still there with Lee Fitzy just looking exactly what's going on, but could be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. But sadly we lost Morley and of course Brian Ross due to mechanical issues by the sound of it, but and 2 badly damaged broken cars as well, so it's a bit of a shame to end up the season. But Outdoors still in pit lane, and he must have actually had some quite hefty damage when he had a bit of an issue then. But Lee Fitzy's now dropped to 4.5 of a second between him and Comer. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen between the pair of them. But we've got 12 minutes to go then. Outdoors now back out on track, which is good to see. He's about to get a lap on by Stefano Marchetto, race leader. But 8 cars remaining then. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen with 11.5 minutes to go. Oh, there's a yellow flag though. ACB's now gone off yet again. He's not having a good night of racing though. He's considered pulled off. I thought he'd had a bit of an issue then, but it looks to me that I thought it was terminal as well, because the car didn't sounded like it didn't fire up. So he's there. He's 3 laps down. He's not. I think he's actually technically struggling. He's gone off there. That's not going to be the right place to pit either. So he's gone into pit lane. Hopefully he comes back out. But you know, he's got to be careful. He's going to be there. It's going to be there for a long time. Another yellow flag situation. Who is that a yellow flag situation for? Was it for Nuno? It must have been for Nuno. Cars are dropping like flies with 10 minutes, just coming up to 10 minutes to go then. What's ACB going to do? Is he going to stay out, or is he going to go? Is he going to come back out? Oh, Lee Fitzy's in the wall just as we come to him. It's 5.8 seconds from comma. This could be disaster. 10 minutes to go in this race. It's going to be a bit of an unfortunate time for these guys, you know. But Stefano Marchetto then pushing on. Luke's still there in second, comma's still third at the moment, so that's going to be that's definitely safe now, because Lee Fitzy's now dropped back to 5.8 of a second. So ACB thereabouts. Is he going to be coming back out onto track? There's a yellow flag with doors back into pit lane. He's also gone off. This could be a bit unfortunate to see exactly what's going to happen, but you know, these things happen in this race. But it's 9 minutes to go. Hopefully the two that are in pit lane come back out of pit lane. I'd like that, because you know, to round up the season with the cars thereabouts. But 9 minutes to go then in the final race. So Lee Fitzy's still there in fourth at the moment. Has he picked up considerable damage? No, he hasn't. Slight damage though. Looks like it's slight damage, but he's staying out. Bit too far behind Common now. 7.9 of a second. Excuse me. Which is a bit unfortunate, really. So we've got Axel still there in fifth, Nuno sixth at the moment, so it seems to be quite close to see exactly what's going to happen. But ART doors and of course ACB still in pit lane at the moment. But 8 minutes to go then in the final race of the season. You know, it's 8 minutes to go, and it's going to be a bit of a weird 8 minutes. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But we'll see exactly what's going to happen. But 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go. But Marmot is still there, Luke's still there in third at the moment, Lee Fitzy fourth, Axel fifth, Nuno sixth. Outdoors still 4 laps down now with ACB. They must have had some pretty hefty damage to stay in pit lane, unless they're deciding to stay in pit lane. But it's going to be a bit unfortunate. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if they decide to go out. Yeah, ACB goes out. He's going to be how many laps down though? Bless him. He's had a bit of a torrid time tonight. But we'll see exactly what he's going to do. But Dawes, he's there. He's still 7th though, because ACB is probably the same amount of laps down. So it's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen. What, 6.5 minutes to go then. Let's have a look at what's happening with a lot of interest. But you know, 23 laps with Stefano Marchetto completed, with of course Luke still second, Comma in third, Lee Fitzy fourth, still out in fourth, Axel fifth, Nuno in sixth then, Outdoors still seventh, but he's still in pit lane, ACB trying to push on, but I think the Audi has literally been so much wounded, but he's trying to push on. Hopefully he doesn't make any mistakes too much now, because he needs to push on. He's in 8th place at the moment, but it's going to be very close. He's got I think that was Stefano Marchetto's BMW catching. I think it was, I'm not too sure, unless it was, no, it's Luke's Cayman. I do apologise, but Luke's going to be there. It's 2nd place, Stefano Marchetto coming through the chase then. He's gone off though. He's gone off. He's gone off. He's probably thinking, I can afford to go off and hoppers won't notice. Well, unfortunately, mate, I do notice. I've got the binoculars as well, as he drifts it through Murray's slightly. 5 minutes to go then. Just about 5 minutes to go. It's going to be very close to see exactly what's going to happen then. Outdoors and of course ACB are 5 and 6 laps down, which is a bit unfortunate for them, but 5 minutes then. ACB yet again goes off at the chase. He's not having a good night tonight, he really isn't. Don't know exactly what's happened with his Audi, whether he's had a bit of issues thereabouts, but we'll see exactly what's going to happen. He still stays out though. Outdoors now goes back out onto track with 5 laps down. 4.5 minutes to go in this race. I tell you what though, guys, despite the depleted numbers now, it's been okay. But, you know, just bear with 1 second, I'm going to sneeze. But yeah, it's going to be very close to see what happens in the final couple of minutes. 4 minutes to go though. Stefano Marchetto goes over the hill, down the mountain. Over the hill, down the mountain. That did not make sense at all. But yes, it's 4 minutes to go in this race. Stefano Marchetto is controlling this race from pole position. Luke's still second after starting second, comma, he's now third after starting, I think he started fourth. So he's thereabouts. Lee Fitzy fourth, Axel fifth, so he's doing a stellar job. 3.5 minutes to go then. Nuno sixth, Outdoors seventh, ACB, please tell me he's not clipped the wall again, in 8th place. He's pushing on, not too sure whether he's got an issue, because that Audi sounds like it's not going as fast as he expects it to. Sounds like it's gone, it's like, it is going fast, but whether it's just how it is, or it's just because he's taking it steady and doesn't want to damage it even more with 3 minutes to go on the clock. He's got to be careful, because Commer's trying to put a lap on him, but he does that. So that's now potentially 6 laps down. But we'll see exactly what's happened. Nuno is 2 laps down. So coming up to then, 2.5 minutes to go. So Stefano Marchetto will be on to another interesting victory here at Bathurst. Will take out the championship as well. So that will be very close to see exactly how well he does for that. But ACB, we're just looking at him right now, going through the chase. Oh, he's run a bit wide, but he's kept it on track now. Got to be very careful he does not go off. But 2 minutes to go then in this race. It is going to be a bit of a weird one, because ACB clipping them curbs out of Murray's with the likes of Stefano Marchetto now. He will be on to the final lap this time round. Luke second, Comma still third, Lee Fitzy fourth then. A bit too far back now, I think, to be honest, to try and catch up to Comma. He goes wide out of Hell Corner though, put commentator's curse on him there. Axel fifth, Nuno in sixth, Outdoors now 5 laps down, potentially pushing on though in that Cayman, with ACB of course in 8th place with 1 minute and 20 seconds left of the final race of the season then. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen between these guys. It is going to be close as you like, but I think ACB's car is not firing on all cylinders. Stefano Marchetto though, he will be 55 seconds. He is going to take out the victory, but he will be going on to the final lap as we speak. But he will be taking another victory. He's obviously controlled the championship since taking the victory at Zandvoort. So since round 1 he's actually been on course with this BMW. So on to the final lap then. Luke still in 2nd, he's there in 3rd, Lee Fitzy 4th, Axel 5th, Nuno 6th, with Outdoors 7th. ACB however trying to get out of everyone's way as best as he can, but it's going to be very close then. 10 seconds left, but Stefano Marchetto, he is still leading the race then, with Luke about to cross the line. He will do another lap. I don't think Comma's going to take another lap though, because time has now run out for Comma. He may be able to, because he's on the lead lap, but it's a lap, according to that, he's a lap down. But is he going to be able to take a lap? This is what we yet to see. Is he going to be able to take a lap, or is it going to give him the checkered flag? No, it gives him another lap, luckily. Lee Fitzy will also do the same because he's on the lead lap. But I think, no, Lee Fitzy will be the first to finish then. Or no, I think that was for ACB, I'm not too sure. It's a very weird situation. But Stefano Marchetto then, coming up through the, he's flashing the lights already. He knows he's won the race. Excuse me. But he knows he's won the race. He's flashing the lights in delight. But it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what's going to happen. But Stefano Marchetto then coming through the chase for the final time, and for the final time this season as well. Let's see what he's going to do. He's flashing the lights in delight. I believe he's going back to the tank of the Bentley for GT3, but he flashes the lights coming through Murray's, and he wins the race in style. I think Axel's actually gone into pit lane on the last lap as well, so he's not completed the race yet, which is a bit of a weird one. But Stefano Marchetto then takes out the final race of the season. He is going to do donuts because he's an absolute hoon. He likes to be a hoon. He likes to be an absolute hooligan. As Nuno George finishes 6th. The red flags are out, but I think that's because the race has now finished. But Luke will take 2nd place then. I think he's also took 2nd place in the standings as well. Comet also, where is Comet? Comet is coming through the chase. The camera likes to throw a wobbler at me, but Comet will come through to finish 3rd then. That is an absolute stellar drive from Comet in the Mercedes. Not too sure where he finished in the table, but it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what happens. But Lee Fitzy 4th then, could have easily been 3rd, but I think the gap got a bit too much. I think the traffic got in the way a bit as well. So, but he finishes 4th in the race then, which seems to be a very stellar night of racing for him, with the likes of Axel still coming through into, of course, the guys that are doing donuts at the moment. Luke's there doing donuts, Stefano now in pit lane, so we'll see exactly what's going to happen. Lee Fitzy is finished 4th. Just waiting for Axel to finish 5th then. ACB and Outdoors 6th and 7th respectively, with Nuno in, of course, 6th place. I'll get the race the results for these guys, and then the guys can have them, and I will literally jump on to a very interesting moments. But I like to say why we'll see what happens for the Porsche Carrera Cup final round at Imola this time next week. It will be very interesting, so be sure to check that out. It will be my last commentary on a Thursday, but nevertheless it has been an absolute emotional roller coaster. It has been quite some time of a journey, but Axel comes into the final corner then to finish a superb 5th place. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen for the Porsche Carreras next week at Imola. But congratulations to Stefano Marchetto for taking out a well-deserved victory. I like to flag victory as well. And I'll tell you what, that is it for GT4. And that is it for GT4 commentary from me, Hoppers, for Thursday Night Racing League. I am looking forward to seeing what happens at Imola for the Porsche Carrera Cup this time next week. It should be an epic 2 races there, and we will be showing you live and exclusive action for that. Sadly, we lost Brian Ross and, of course, Morley in the race. But I tell you what, guys, it has been an absolute blast. Join me next week for the final rounds on the Porsche Carreras, and I will technically leave you with some words. If you like to see more action, or you'd like to get involved in Thursday Night Racing League, please do, because the guys are absolute stellar racers, and I'll tell you what, they cater for anyone. Until then, guys, I will see you next week at Imola for the final round of the Porsche Carrera Cup. Until then, guys, I've been Hoppers of Thursday Night Racing League. Take care, enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and I will see you soon. Ta-ra.